Versatile Mage. Chapter 475. Fire Calamity, Part 1. The party crossed the drifting sand river safely and was welcomed by a barren land that looked like it had been scorched by flames. This was the North Burning Valley, a unique place full of mysteries yet to be fully explored by humans. Hunters were spread across the country and had repeatedly explored most of the relatively famous demon beasts' territories, making it quite difficult to find any resources or treasures there. In comparison, the North Burning Valley was separated by the giant drifting sand river, so not many magicians managed to arrive in one piece. It was considered a fertile land, with many resources that magicians were willing to risk their lives to secure. The surface area of the North Burning Valley was unknown for now. According to the information Mo Fan had gathered after spending 9 million RMB, the Flame Bell was residing in the northern area of the North Burning Valley. The North Burning Valley had the shape of a basin. The land looked flat in the distance, but someone had already inspected the place. It turned out that the elevation kept decreasing toward the middle of the valley. The whole place was like a fire pit. The soil around the party was brown-red, and according to rumors, the area in the center was a burning land. Flames were sprouting from the surface, looking like red stalks of grass scattered across the place in lumps. Those without any fire resistance would not be able to travel on it. The North Burning Valley was also known as the Brazier of China, as there was a high-quality fire seed hidden somewhere under the valley. Even if the area was not produced by the Tiandi fire seed, such a place with an abnormal level of elemental energy would have nurtured many soul seeds, even those of soul grade. Mo Fan knew that the Tiandi grade soul seed was not something to be found easily. Many powerful magicians had explored the place, yet none had found the legendary Tiandi grade soul seed. How could an intermediate magician like him possibly find it? It was wiser to focus on searching for the Flame Bell. Being able to get a Flame Bell would be a huge win. Now that the party had arrived at the North Burning Valley, it was up to Lingerling to decide what everyone would do. She flipped through some information in her notebook and did some strange calculations. "Hey runners, bury these things in the ground," Lingerling said, taking out 4 cone-shaped devices from her bag. The devices looked like spinning tops, yet their surfaces were coated in some kind of metal, giving them an advanced look. "Aren't these element sensors? Are we trying to figure out the elemental densities in this area?" Zhang Xiaohou quickly identified the devices with his army experience. "I've studied the behavior of creatures like the Flame Bell. They prefer to stay in places where the density of fire element is 5 times higher than normal. However, when producing offspring, to let the new child experience a strong fire awakening, the mother will live close to a fire element soul seed. If we can find the soul seed, we won't be far from the Flame Bell," said Lingerling. Mo Fan nodded in agreement. The huge sum of money he had spent was not in vain. It actually helped them target specific locations, as the Flame Bell had fairly consistent living habits. They did not like to move their lairs for no reason. A soul seed was somewhat unique too, as each area could only have one at a time. Therefore, if they managed to locate the fire element soul seed, they would most likely find the Flame Bell as well. It was the simplest, yet most effective way. The element sensors were perfect tools to locate soul seeds or soul seed pieces, as they could determine if a soul seed was nearby by analyzing the elemental densities in the area. At Lingerling's request, everyone placed the element sensors at certain locations. These devices were handy, but risky to use. Similar to analyzing the density of demon beasts in Jinlan City, the devices would serve as GPS transmitters when buried, exposing their locations to nearby demon beasts. The signal would easily attract the demon beasts in the area. Every time they used the element sensors, it would be a battle of defending Athena, lasting for as long as the devices needed. Many hunters ended up being wiped out by the demon beasts because they did not control their time well or estimate the difficulty of fighting the local demons accurately. Luckily, the devices did not need much time. The party could easily withdraw before the demon beasts swarmed like a nest of bees, avoiding danger. The inspection they were conducting was just to probe the reaction of the demon beasts. However, to locate the soul seed accurately, a device defense battle was inevitable. After all, the longer the devices were buried, the wider the area they could analyze, which would help locate the soul seed hidden underground. Without using the devices, it would be like finding a needle in a haystack. We'll go this way. Hurry up. Some of the demon beasts have already been attracted here, exclaimed Ling. The party retrieved the devices and set out immediately. When Mo Fan saw Chen Yi packing up the element sensor rather slowly, he could not help but feel confused. Chen Yi was Zhao Manyan's cousin. The fact that Zhao Manyan had brought her along was proof of her reliability. However, one thing puzzled Mo Fan. Ling, Xingxia, Zhang Xiaohou, and Zhao Manyan were willing to risk their lives to help him secure a flame bell, even if they ended up empty-handed. On the other hand, Chen Yi had agreed to tag along without asking for anything in return. No one would waste their time on something strenuous and unrewarding, especially given the intense competition at the Imperial College. Mo Fan did not ask further, assuming she would not reveal the truth. He had no choice but to wait and see if she had her own target or some other reason for joining. Look, something is burning ahead, and the fire is extremely high, said Zhang Xiaohou, pointing ahead. The crew followed his gaze and saw the tall fire he mentioned. The problem was that the fire seemed to be spreading continuously. Initially, it looked like a distant blaze, but it undulated like mountains and suddenly grew bigger. Does anyone feel like it has grown bigger again? It feels like it's burning all the way into the sky, said someone in the party. Mo Fan took a closer look, and as the rolling flames grew, his face filled with astonishment as he suddenly realized something. It's not growing bigger, it's moving in our direction. Run, screamed Mo Fan. The fire was absolutely terrifying. It started on the distant horizon and seemed like a flickering glow at first. However, as it consumed the horizon and spread toward the party at a crazy pace, everyone finally realized how shocking it was. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.